probably the most disappointing segment of the night. Darby Allin and Brian Cage in a weigh-in. Now, before I shit on this too much, I will say at least it wasn't a contract signing. Had too many of those, right? Every fucking week it feels like there's a contract signing on SmackDown. At least it wasn't that. But, okay. I'll let you go and then let me. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
so
you
it doesn't need to be a contract signing every time because we don't contract sign every match. They make matches on the fly. They send them out. Apparently, if you're in the building, you are subject to any authority figure being able to put you in a match immediately. And you know what I mean? In any situation with any stipulation whatsoever, that appears to be the deal, right? Like in pro wrestling lore, right? If you're in the building, you can do whatever the fuck I say, or you can get the fuck out of here, right? So I don't like a contract signing. This weigh-in, the issue with this one is your weight division would have to be at least 150 to 300, and so that doesn't make any sense, right? What's the bar that we're trying to set here? So that doesn't make sense. You just have a press conference. You have pre-fight press conference. You have some fake, you know what I mean, reporters.
Well, they did that once.
Questions, you know what I mean?
They did that once. Remember, Jake Hager and Cody did that, and that's when Jake Hager's wife came in and I think threw water on Cody, and then that ended the segment. I agree. Press conferences, maybe we need to turn up a little bit, and these weigh-ins and contract signings,
they can go to
turn
a fight.
them down.
They can still, you know.
The biggest problem I had with this segment wasn't even the weigh-in, because maybe you say, hey, look, it wasn't actually like a weigh-in as far as we have weight limits here. It was just measurements. We just want to show you the difference in these two.
We just wanted to punk him out.
Right. Okay. And if that's the case, I can still get into that a little bit. But again, this is my biggest beef. It's the same segment 4 weeks in a row, I believe, at this point, where Taz and Team Taz say, Darby Allin, you piece of shit, we're going to kick your ass. And then snow hits the arena or the outdoor amphitheater. And then Sting walks out and they just walk away. At this point, we have to say Powerhouse Hobbs and Brian Cage and Ricky Starks and Hook, and then even throw in Taz, can beat these two people up.
And would come prepared for a dude with a baseball bat, finally. They would come with bats of their own. Yeah. Knives. A gun. And a gun.
It's a no-holds-barred match. Then grab a gun. Never understood why they never did that.
I've seen wrestlers come out frequently with baseball bats with barbed wire attached to them. So, yeah, it's like I get that we booked Sting for 47 appearances or whatever, and we're going to get him in, and we advertise Sting, and this is all Sting can do.
Which is fine. That I don't even mind. I'm being dead serious here. I don't even mind that it's Sting non-confrontational, but we just need to present him in different ways. I was more of a fan of Tony Schiavone is going to talk to Sting tonight. Okay, because now we can advance a story. But this segment was literally copy and paste of every time Sting and anyone other than Tony Schiavone have been in the ring together. And that's where I'm just getting exhausted.
Here's what I want. I want Brian Cage to somehow win this TNT championship, right? By evil things, right? The Team Taz, strong arms, just beats Sting can't even say, he tries to come down. He finally gets beat down by the Team Taz, right? Now Darby's, whacked out. He's all, weird. But now Sting is watching him from afar. Like Darby's up here and then Sting's up here watching him. And Darby's like, what the fuck? And then Sting's like, he's trying to mentor Darby Allin, right? In the creepy ways of getting back at these folks, right? And coming out of nowhere and kind of Sting-esking Darby Allin in that regard, like where he can drop out of nowhere and all of a sudden everybody's like, fuck, and he just goes crazy with a skateboard or something, whatever, right? 2020 version of it.
Yeah.
Because other than that, like put some story into this.
And that's
right?
Where I was getting at. If you want to have Sting appear next week, because I'm not sure when their next, well, I guess the match is next week, but let's just say after the match, you're going to again have to have Sting appear because of the 47 appearances or whatever, that number is. Then let me see, tonight on Dynamite, Darby Allin and Sting sit down with Tony Schiavone to air out their differences. Something there. Sting and Taz sit down with Jim Ross to talk about their long storied rivalry that we have no idea about, right? It goes back to TNA when Taz was a commentator and Sting was part of the Main Event Mafia, and Sting didn't ask Taz to be a part of the Main Event Mafia, and he thought that was a slight, and da-da-da-da, right? Like, we can tell stories here. We don't just have to have Sting walk out in snow and go like, ha-ha.
Even better. Let's stop the creepy, like the in the rafter stuff, right? Altogether. The snow is gone, right? Darby loses, but he's trying to get back at the guys. And Sting's just acting like his dad. He comes in when he's doing something weird, like doing one of those jackass stunts. He's like, what are you doing? Why don't you focus on getting your title back? Like, you say you want your title back, but you're in here flip kicking with these morons. You know what I mean? He's like, leave me alone, right? I don't even ask for your opinion, right?
Well, and that's the story we can tell with Darby Allin, because then in a role reversal, not like Randy Orton, but almost in the same vein, is now this is the second legend that Darby Allin's pissed off. Because if you go back, the genesis of this Taz versus Darby Allin rivalry goes back to Darby Allin not taking the advice from Taz. And then Taz
Maybe
saying,
he's just a dick.
Right, like Darby Allin, and that could be the heel turn for Darby Allin here in the future, is you could say, Darby Allin and his whole beef with Taz was that he didn't respect the elders and the people that came before him. And so then he went through this rivalry. Then he got Sting to back him up. And then even he burned Sting and still said these legends are not worth my time. And now, because who you could do that with after Sting? Let's say you go down that rabbit hole. You know who you should go with next after that? Chris Jericho, another legend that he says shouldn't be in this company because he's taking my spot. And there you go. Now you have a captivating Darby Allin story.
Wouldn't be bad, but what they're doing now is boring. I agree.
What the segment is definitely boring.